this. So I get to ask you questions.
We get to have a speed round.
You got it. It's a speed round, and now and Nikki can talk pretty fast and work even faster. I don't know if you've noticed that. She gets stuff done up there. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, speed round. Number one, question number one. Our state, Nikki, has a $21 billion budget, not the $7 billion that most lawmakers are fond of discussing. They tell us there have been no general tax increases in 2 decades, yet fees, fines, and assessments have grown like wildfire. If elected, what would you do to control this overgrown budget?
You know, let's talk about what the $21 billion is. $21 billion is divided into thirds. A third of it is federal funds that are matching funds that we see the state use. A third of it is the state, which is what the state legislature votes on every year. And then a third of it is what goes through the Budget Control Board. Let's see what, as governor, can we control. The second two things we can control more than the first. First of all, what I will tell you is we have to have in our state budget, when I got into office in 2005, we had a $4 billion budget. 2006, we had a $5 billion budget. In 2007, we had a $6 billion budget. Government grew by $1 billion a year, and you didn't feel it. The first thing we need to do is make sure we go back to zero-based budgeting. We start at zero and we say, what do we have to have? And then we work our way up. Because what government always does is they turn around, they'll pass a program last year, and they never go back to see if it actually works. They never go back to see if it's working for the people. The second thing is that I will make sure I audit every single one of our agencies so that we make sure that those programs that we do have are still working. I want every program director to prove to me that they're still needed and warranted in this state. And then we'll turn around and incentivize our agencies not to spend. When you incentivize your agencies not to spend, they won't feel that urgency to finish out their budgets that year because they think they're not going to get it next year. And I'll give you an example. Labor licensing and regulation. Last year turned around and bought a computer system that was $5 million that they never turned on. If you incentivize your agencies not to spend, we can praise the ones that don't, and we can focus those dollars on where they should go. That's what we need to do and then when it comes to the third that goes through the Budget Control Board, I've put through legislation that says no legislator or immediate family member can do business with the state because all of those contracts go through the Budget Control Board. I will make the Budget Control Board completely transparent so that you can see the dollars that are going through it. When I make it transparent, you will see why we need to eliminate the Budget Control Board. We are the only state in the country that has a Budget Control Board. It employs 1,000 people. Instead, what we need to do is eliminate that board and put it under a Department of Administration under the governor. You will take out all of that wasteful spending, you will streamline your spending, and then you'll start to see why we have the money that we have and it's not separated into 3 pots. The federal matching funds, we need to go back and look at that because every time you take a federal dollar, it is tying one hand behind your back, promising that you have to do certain programs that you don't necessarily need to do. So all 3 of those funds need to be looked at. As your governor, I will make sure all 3 are transparent so that you know exactly how every dollar is being spent.